911 operator, what's your emergency?
My sister's on the bathroom floor laid out and she's not responding.
Okay, sir, please calm down. Where are you?
I'm at home.
All right, what's your address?
604 Berkman Street.
Hang on tight. We're sending somebody now. What's your age?
I'm 12.
All right.
My name is Shantia Rivera, and September 8th, 2013 will be the day I'll never forget.
Shantia, tell us why that date is so hard for you to talk about.
Well, that was the day that I tried to take my life, and it was one of the most memorable days I would never forget. Like, from the whole point when my brother found me on the floor to me ending up in the hospital and seeing my mom's face, it broke me. Like, it just tore me up to see her go through that and to have me go through that.
What drove you to the point of you almost wanting to end it all?
I had a lot going on at the time, and it was between a boy and my best friend, my family, and it was just so much piling up on me to the point where I just wanted to end it all.
So you mentioned that you actually were in ICU. Tell us about the recovery process.
The recovery process was very, very, can I edit that out of there?
Yeah.
Okay. The recovery process was very, very hard for me. I couldn't do anything on my own. I couldn't pee on my own. I couldn't breathe on my own. I was hooked up any place possible you could think of. I had like a nurse watching me 24/7. Like, there was not one time I could be in a room alone. And then when I fully recovered, I ended up in a psych ward.
Psych ward. Now, when you think about a psych ward, you think about people sometimes with mental illness and going through different things. Tell us about being in a psych ward. How did that change you?
It made me see that I'm not crazy. Like, those people in there really had like something going on, and when they was telling their stories, I felt like their stories didn't compare to what I was going through. They went through worse than what I went through. So for them to end up in there and see that this actually drove them to, I want to say, a mental illness, kind of makes me see that I'm not really that, sick. Like, I'm normal.
So how do you cope with suicidal thoughts?
Well, as of now, like I said, I pray, and I always just get that look on my mom's face. That's the only thing that, brings me to a certain point, because I never, ever want to see that look on my mom's face again. That was, like, I'm 25 years old. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. That broke me. To see her break like that, I never want to see that again, so I would never put myself in that position again.
Tell us about your future as far as your collegiate career. Tell us about how this situation has impacted you to be the young woman that you are today.
It impacts me a lot because I have so much to be thankful for, like, that's now, like, in my future. Like, I'm getting ready to graduate college. I've always wanted to be a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and I'm finally a member. My little cousin that I love so much, like, I would have never met her, and I've met her. And it's just so much, like, new sights, new seeing, new everything. And I know that, like, God has placed me here for a purpose, and he left me here for a purpose. And I'm just ready to receive it and just share, like, with the world.
To Shantia, from your memory, did September the 8th seem different to you?
It does, because it's like, what do I want to say, a rebirth, like a new chance at life. I mean, it still taunts me, but it's still a new chance. I just see it as a rebirth because I shouldn't be here. But I'm actually here. And I've accomplished so much that I'm just blessed to be here. Like, and I thank God every day, you know, for my brother and for him not taking me, because I wouldn't have got to experience a lot of stuff that I'm experienced for these past couple of years.
So if you could say anything to your family members, especially your brother, what would you say to him?
I would just tell my brother, thank you. And I apologize to my mom because I know how bad, I don't fully know, but the look on her face, I know that it broke her. And my brother, I'm just thankful for him, because who would have known if he would have never just knocked on the door just to see what was I doing in that bathroom. And for him to actually call 911 and him trying to ride in the ambulance with me, but he couldn't because he was too young. I just thank him. And I just want to tell my mom I'm sorry, and it will never happen again. Growing up, Shantia's grandmother has been her backbone and her source of comfort. Here's what she had to say.
My name is suicidal. I am the grandmother of Shantia Rivera.
So, how did you feel when Shantia tried to commit suicide or had the attempt?
I was very disturbed because of the fact that she knew she could have came to her grandmother and said anything she wanted. She could have sat down, she could have talked to me. When I got the phone call, I was very upset because she knows that's not the way that I helped raise her. She should have been able to walk in the door and say, Grandma, this is what's going on. Why she felt that she couldn't come to me, I don't know. But I was very, very upset because of the fact I can sit down and I can talk to not only my grandkids, my kids, but anybody else's kids, because that's what I'm here for, to help them, to let them know that God is always above anything. And they know that because they are church-going people. They were raised in the church, just like I was raised in the church. And there was nothing that she couldn't say to me that I couldn't help her. When she came home, I did get on her about it. I might have been hard. Sometimes you have to be hard with people to let them know that there's no need for them to do the things that they do.
Shantia sat down with Dr. Bagazra, one of the psychologists here at Claflin University, as she addresses details about suicide, suicide awareness, and mental illness.
All right, I'm Dr. Bagasra, and I am Associate Professor of Psychology at Claflin University. I teach a range of psychology courses here that cover various topics from introductory psychology to psychology of health and wellness, abnormal psychology, psychology of religion, and other courses.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on suicide?
Suicide is a major problem that we're facing, not just here in the United States, but globally. Suicide is an interesting phenomenon because biologically we have a biological drive for survival. So our body is going to do whatever it needs to do, and our brain typically, to help us survive. And so we've seen extreme examples of that where people have been trapped and have cut their own arm off to get out of a trap situation, or will eat whatever they need to eat in order to try and survive. So suicide as a phenomenon involves our brain overriding that drive for survival and having this desire to end our own life because of depression, psychological pain, mania, whatever the circumstances are. And so that's a real concern, because suicide is not a mental illness, it is a symptom of various psychological disorders.
Do you think like medical attention can help prevent suicide, or it's just an internal thing?
It's definitely a combination. Medical attention, especially after somebody has attempted suicide, is going to be the key to keeping them alive long enough to make diagnosis and engage them in proper therapy or social support. So for an individual who has already attempted suicide, medical intervention is going to be the best opportunity for them.
Shantia talks to her fellow classmate as she shares her personal story and her overcoming of suicide.
Hi, I'm Janae Edie, mass communications major. This is my story. It started when I was 8, going on 9. You know, losing your mom, your mom's your best friend. So for you to lose your mom at a young age, you're basically lost. And so I tried numerous times, you know, and then it's like God is keeping me here for a reason, so I have to find that reason. And then one day in class, my teacher sat me down because she noticed that before I came to her class, I was honor roll, sports, and all that. Happy-go-lucky kid, and then all of a sudden I get to her class and just give up on the world. So she sat me down. She made some valid points about me being my mom's superhero, because she couldn't do that. She couldn't finish school, so she was living through me, basically. So it was just me and my brother. My brother had also tried to commit it a couple times too, but he was unsuccessful. So it was basically up to me to save my family, so to speak.
So how do you think your mom would have felt, or the pain like your family would have felt if you had, gone on?
Well, I thought about that, but then again, at the time I really didn't care, because I was being selfish, so to speak. And once my aunt found out about it, she was like, what's going on? You know people are here, so you can talk to them. But in my head, I was like, no, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm just going to deal with myself. And I had counseling. I started going to counseling. And they basically said that there's more to life than just pain. You have to find your strength from everything that you've gone through. So that's what I did. From that point on, I started joining more sports. Got back with good grades with my teachers. Came to college. Wasn't even thinking about coming to college, actually.
9 out of 10 people won't reach out for help because they assume no one will listen. Well, I'm here to tell you that there are plenty of people out there who are willing to listen, and there's always someone out there who's willing to help. Just call 1-800-273-TALK.
Get help.
Get help.
Talk to someone.
Talk to someone.
Talk to someone.